Once again, greetings one and all. Now, Pam Boshara Lambus, all one word, 3770, said, "Hey Anton, you know there's a new mic on the block, and it's the Shure Nexadyne." I didn't know. So I went and had a look, and kind of thought, no, not for me. But I thought, why not do a video just saying how I might go about considering a new mic. I have Sufficient. I'm always interested, of course. So I'm going to just go through what I would do later on. Thought it was quite interesting. It's a Nexadyne 8C. So the Shure website, obviously, let me go in order then. I would say the first thing is I have a quick look online, obviously. And actually the first thing I'd say is, do I like the look of it? Let me put that another way. Do I dislike the look of it? Because I've got one or two mics, I just don't like the look of them. And there are other mics that are similar, always are. You know, everyone's got their special thing, but if I really find I don't like the look of it, and every time I'm holding it up and putting it in the stand and handling it all the time, well, if it's a one of a kind and it offers something that nothing else does, then I'll put up with it. But other than that, I'm probably going to be swayed towards something that I at least find acceptable. Most mics are. There are one or two which I just don't like the look of at all. But there you go. So for me, I think that is an important factor. The next thing I do then, if I like the look of it, I look online. And let me move over to this, because the Nexadyne looks similar to this. This is the KSM8, dual diaphragm as well. Just so you get to hear another mic, and just all helps in the mix, I hope. Here I am on the Shure KSM8, which I'm going to turn up just a little bit. And, okay, so do I like the look of it? Then I go to the website, and I have to say the Shure website is very good. I like it. I like the history that they have in there, and they've got videos on this one, the Nexadyne. They've got a video, and it goes from their history with the Unidyne and why. So it just gives me a feeling that they're proud of what they've done. I'm sure they would be. And it's just interesting, and it just draws you in, and you think these people are serious about what they're doing, and they're into it, which I'm sure they are. So I'd go to the website, get what I can from there. And of course, one of the things I got is the frequency response. There's lots of stuff about technical stuff about the dual diaphragm, what it's for and how it's made, and it all seems quite complex and quite finely engineered, so it seems. But what use is that to me? I'm more interested in how it's going to behave. So I'm going to put this online. So one of the first things I looked at after the blurb and read through the blurb is the frequency graphs. I'm going to put them on the screen. And I've got the KSM8, that's at the bottom, and the Nexadyne at the top. So the first thing I looked at, kind of with both of them, but we're interested in the Nexadyne because it's the one I'm considering, if you like, is that it's dropping off, well, under, 150 hertz, or is that 200? I think it's 200, yeah. Just around, or in fact, a little bit above 200 hertz, it's starting to drop off. So for the kind of things I like to do, and what I like in a microphone, that immediately made me pause. And secondly, I looked at that rise right at the top, quite significant. So I suppose I thought, well, for me, is there anything new here? It's a shape I've seen over and over and over again, and I'd be more interested if it was flat or smoother. So what am I getting? You know, that's immediately what I'm thinking for me is, well, what am I going to get here? I've got loads of mics that look like that, the peaks at the top there, and then they drop off. But, you know, maybe there's other things going on. One thing I found quite interesting is that microphone manufacturers don't seem to put the proximity trace anymore, which is important for me. I don't know why not. Just do it in a different color or dotted lines, as some of them used to in the old days. And the other thing I noticed is it says it's 2 feet from the sound source. So 2 feet from the sound source is something like this. I'm going to turn it up. I'm going to put it back down again. So I've turned it up a bit, as much as the fader will go. I'd have to alter the gain now for that. So it's from there, which is okay. I mean, it's interesting, but who sings as a vocal mics? Why there? Maybe there's a reason that I don't get. I would have thought, you know what? Yes, occasionally I do that, but if I'm in a small room and then I do that as well. If I'm singing a loud note or a high note or something, But for the vast majority of the time, I would say my positioning is really round about a foot and closer. And as you can hear, there's a change in the tone from there. It's not just louder. There is a slight, you can just tell. I'm going to bring it closer and take the volume back down again. And I'd like to see what it's like here, because I might do a lot on quieter stuff here. So I'd like to see a trace for that. Or should we call that 6 inches? And then I'd like to see what it's like 1 inches. This one's proximity compensated, but you can still hear. There is some. So I found that was interesting. 2 feet away. Why that? Maybe someone can explain to me. So that's it. I look at all that and I thought, so immediately for me, I'm thinking, I don't think so. For me, depends on what you want. So you could do that. Look at the trace. Be careful because it doesn't tell you everything, of course. Then, of course, why not? We're going to look at videos, aren't we, if you can find one. And I looked at a gentleman's name is Obscure Mics. Yeah, got a YouTube channel. So that was interesting. He's got one of these, the Nexadyne, and he's testing it on his voice against SM58 and an SM7B. So I listened. I thought, yeah, clearer than the SM58, of course. The SM7B, I think clearer than that, not as sluggish, not as comfortable. I think someone said about the SM7B, it sounds comfortable. However, the Nexadyne on his voice, here's where the difficulty is, perhaps, as you know if you watch my videos. He's American. Nothing wrong with being American. I've got to be careful how I say this. But it occurs to me a lot of Americans, not all, of course, depends on your physicality, but they do tend to have that kind of place. I noticed the word he said, which in England we might say, I don't know, it had an R maybe in it. So in England we tend to say R. Well, not all, depends on where you are in England, of course. Yeah. R. Whereas his was ah. And what I noticed when he went on the Nexadyne is that seemed to be So I listen to that and I look at that chart and I see those peaks there. And obviously it depends on what kind of voice you've got. So that's what you should, that's my recommendation. Do you like the look of it? Look at the charts, go to the manufacturer's websites, listen to some reviews. But now really what you need to do, which I've said before, I'm going to go back on that, 33. Really what you need to do, which I've said before, can you try it? Can you hire it? Long enough to try it on a couple of gigs. The Nexadyne is, I think, £399 in the UK. I saw a price for it. That's a lot. I mean, a lot's gone into it. Look at the video. It's fascinating. This is £329. A lot went into this as well. When this came out, they dual diaphragm. It's tricky, it seems. Hopefully robust enough. I don't drop it. But £399. It's difficult, isn't it? You're just going to buy it in the post. Can you send it back? Maybe you can. I can't imagine they'll be sending Nexadynes. Companies, shops will be sending them all over the place. 100 out at the time, different people, and sort of 98 of them come back. People decide it's not for them. So I don't know what to offer you beyond that. Take your time. Yeah. You can watch all the reviews in the world, of course, but you need to try it on your voice. That's the thing. Anyway, those are my suggestions. I'm sure it's obvious, really, but I've done it now, so there we are. Okay, see you next time.